ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, Sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
It's almost time for tonight's main game. Where both teams, come on, put your hands together for Biñan, Bilis, Motorcycle Gimmicks. And your Summer Knights, go for gold!
Mula sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao at sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong panonood ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, liga ng bawat Pilipino. And tonight we are coming to you live from the home of the MPBL's second season champions, the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in the city of San Juan, where the Knights are ready to defend it against KG Canaleta and the rest of Biñan Tatakgel, who are on a 2-game winning streak as they take on the San Juan Knights. Orlan Mamar is also off of 2 straight victories. especially after scoring 15 points, grabbing 8 boards, and dishing out 9 dimes in their previous win versus Louis Vigil and the rest of Bacolod City. This would be our conclusion for your MPBL Blockbuster Friday. We've seen 2 great games so far here in San Juan. Thank you for joining us, folks. This Mix Mom is at your service alongside Javi Palanya and Andrea Indicio. But Javi, I'd like to break down Biñan first. This is a team that started off very well, 6-0 in their campaign, but they lost 4 straight before eventually getting back to their groove. Now they have a standing of 8-4. How would you actually describe them there in in that upper tier in the standings? Would you say that they're still clear-cut contenders?
Yeah, definitely. When you have a lineup that has PBA legends in Mark Pingris, KG Canaleta, Mac Cardona is still there in that roster, and then the emergence of Carlo Lastimosa coming back from a long absence. He has now established himself as one of the premier scorers para dito sa Biñan, as he always was. Jonathan Gray is also starting to get his groove back on para sa Biñan Tatak Gel. So definitely they are still at the top of the Southern Division in terms of talking about contenders.
Well, speaking of contenders, they beat a contender in their previous outing. That was Parañaque in Parañaque. And as we know, when you play inside the Olivares College gym, it's really tough for you.
They were certainly unfazed. They started off that game strong, 17-6 right after the first quarter. Mark Pingris did a good job there working with KG Canaleta early in that game. They led by as much as 14 points in the first half, but then in the third quarter, Parañaque outscored them 30-21 in what was actually a relatively low-scoring game para sa parehong koponan. They entered the fourth quarter deadlocked at 50 all, and Biñan, they were able to hold back multiple rallies by the Parañaque Patriots, and even if they had a minus 23 in terms of attempts, they made up for it by knocking down more 3-point shots and also made up for those 17 turnovers that they committed. But in this game against the San Juan Knights, they're gonna have to limit that. We know that San Juan, they like to take advantage of these turnovers that the opposing teams commit. They are very good in making those into points.
Well, San Juan has been terrific all season long. If I could take a look at my list, they're actually in the top 3 in 6 categories, including field goal percentage, 3-point shooting, and overall points per game. Their depth has also been a big factor in bench scoring. They averaged 54 per outing. In their previous game, they were able to win against Bacolod City by 6 points.
I think their depth has been greatly underrated in this season, and that's why they were able to start this season unbeaten before that triple overtime loss to the Rizal Golden Coolers, and they've won back-to-back games. As you mentioned, after that loss here inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, Dexter Maiquez led the charge para sa kanila. 5 other players were in double figures for the San Juan Knights in that game. They overcame 57 points by Bacolod in the second half after only allowing 28 points in the first 2 quarters against the City of Smiles. As you look at the numbers here, they dominated the glass and the points in the paint as well as the bench production. That is the depth that we are talking about para dito sa San Juan Knights. Anybody can contribute at any given time.
Well, because of the depth of these 2 teams, they're actually selecting a player matchup with 2 players of different positions. A big man from San Juan in Dexter Maiquez, and a wing player in Kenny Rocacurva for Biñan.
Kenny Rocacurva was adjudged the best player even if he was not the top scorer para dito sa Biñan in their last game, because he did a little bit of everything in that game against the Parañaque Patriots, and he hit big shots down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarter when Parañaque was threatening to get that game from them. As you look at their averages right there on your screens, 8.6 points para lang dito kay Kenny Rocacurva and 10.8 points para dito kay Dexter Maiquez. For Dexter Maiquez, you expect these kinds of numbers, but for Rocacurva, these are not really the usual numbers that we expect from him, especially with the performance that he had with Pasig last year. But now he's playing in a much more loaded roster. That's why there has been kind of an adjustment for him. But I'm sure Coach Boyd Fernandez still has a lot of trust para dito kay Kenny Rocacurva to deliver, especially in the big moments.
Oh, it's a long way to go for the youngster in the MPBL, but tonight he has one heck of a task in the San Juan Knights in front of him. Kenny Rocacurva and Dexter Maiquez are both with Andrea Indicio.
That is right, Migs. Kasama ko nga ngayon si Kenny Rocacurva at si Dexter Maiquez. Unahin ko na munang kausapin itong si Kenny. Kenny, pinatunayan ni Dexter kahapon or in their previous game na hindi lamang sa depensa pero pati na rin sa opensa kayang-kaya niyang mag-contribute. So paano niyo ba yun pinaghandaan? Anong sinabi ng mga coaches to hopefully hindi maulit yung ganong klaseng performance niya?
Pinaganda lang namin yung team effort namin sa depensa. Siyempre, pati sa big man namin, practice talaga sila para maka-adjust sa bilis at sa shooting ni Kuya Marquez.
Alright, thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team. Dumako naman tayo sa aking kaliwa. Dexter, kilala natin itong si Kenny bilang isang mabilis at flashy na player. Paano nyo ba yun pipigilan given na speed din naman ang strength nitong San Juan?
May magbabantay na sa kanya na tao, so sana yung game plan namin ma-apply namin sa game na to at sa mga ibang kakampi pa niya.
Alright, thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team as well, mga kaliga. Wag na po natin itong patagalin. Richard Dampos, take it away.
This is gonna be exciting. Biñan versus your San Juan. Here at the Feed Oil Eco Oil Center, live on the MPBL FB page, YouTube channel. Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, MPTV Signal Channel 98, MPTV Satellite Channel 53, and on Pilipinas Live app. Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 6, presented to you by Extreme. Here are the starters. Let's begin with Biñan Tatagel Beast Motorcycle GameX. Starting at guard number 88, Kenny Roca Curva. Center number 51, Alvin Beichong. Small forward number 22, Carlo Lastimosa. One guard number 0, Pamboy Raymundo. And at power forward number 9, KG Canaleta. The head coach is Boyet Fernandez. His assistants are Gino Manansala, Gino Manuel, Eliazar Gabutotan, JR Manansala, Jerwin Gago, and Rico Meyer-Hopper. Team Manager Jojo Cunanan, LGU Partner Vice Mayor Jel Alonte, with Monching Talisayon, Team Owners Jid Anyo Nuevo. And now, the MPBL Season 2 Tattoo Cup Champions, your San Juan Knights. Go for gold! Starting at guard, number 24, Nico Panganiban. Power forward, number 16, Zach Wang. Point guard, number 12, Marwin Taiwan. At forward, number 9, Dexter Marquez. Coming in at center, number 2, Mike Calisan. They are led by Honorable Senator Jingo Estrada, assisted by Regional Tapal King Philip Cesar and Noy Bondulan. Coaching consultant, Congressman Brian Yansuan, team manager Jun Usman, co-team owner Jeremy Go.
Presenting our starting fives, brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max, Pamboy Raymundo, Kenny Roca Curva, Alvin Baichong, KG Cananleta, and Carlo Lastimosa for Biñan. And then we have Marwin Taiwan, Nico Panganiban, Michael Calisaan, Zach Wang, and Dexter Marquez for our MPBL Tattoo Cup Season 2 champions, the San Juan Knights. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service, alongside Happy Balanya and Andrea Endicio, for the last game of your MPBL Blockbuster Friday, following the overtime victory of Marikina versus QC and that game winner of Esid Gabo, as he got the victory alongside the Heat Waves against the Muntinlupa Cagers. It's been a beautiful day for Philippine basketball as San Juan tries to get its third straight victory. Same applies for Biñan Tatagel. San Juan, by the way, next week will take on the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards here inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, so watch out for that. First miss for Zach Wang, ball tapped away in favor of San Juan.
That's definitely going to be a premier matchup. San Juan and Nueva Ecija have been rivals for quite some time now in the MPBL, especially being in the same division. The Knights starting with a different set of starting five here to begin this game. Marwin Taiwan is their point guard to begin. It's usually Orlan Momar there, Nico Panganiban as well, trusted to the starting lineup along with Dexter Marquez. Ang natira lang from last game starting lineup was Zach Wang at itong si Mike Calisaan.
But the thing is, these players have proven themselves already in the MPBL, whether it's with San Juan in the past couple of seasons or not. A miss by KG Canaleta, offensive rebound for Kenny, and here's Carlo Lastimosa. Back up to Pamboy. Alvin Baichong matched up against Zach Wang. 6 on the shot clock. It's a charge.
Easy call right there by our baseline referee, Alvin Baichong, starting his first game since being sidelined for a few matches para dito sa Biñan Tatak Gel. It's Mark Pingris out of the lineup tonight for this matchup against San Juan.
Both teams still scoreless. Marvin Taiwan hands it off to Nico Panganiban, the former Jensen star. On his second year with the Knights, it's a turnover.
I expect both of these teams to really try and limit each other here, especially at the start of the game.
Pamboy needing a teammate. 11 on the shot clock. KG Canaleta onto Carlo Lastimosa. His three-pointer is good.
Hand in the face, no problem para kay Carlo Lastimosa, the only guy in double figures para sa Biñan in that game against Parañaque, but he did lead 5 other guys who scored at least 7 points in what was a great team effort for Tatak Gel in that game against the Patriots.
He had 13 points in 17 minutes of play. Off of the miss by Taiwan, we're back with KG Canaleta. They swing it over to Kenny. Same angle, same result, much like what happened to Carlo.
Swung it to the left, a little hesitation upon the receipt, but Roca Curva still able to knock down that 3-point shot. If that continues to be consistent para sa kanya, it will be much more deadlier facing this Biñan Tatak Gel squad, because we know that Roca Curva was primarily and exclusively a slasher, especially in his days with Pasig last year.
The official score is 5-0, so it's 1-3 and 1-2 so far for Biñan Tatak Gel. And before that conversion by Zach Wang, there was a foul called. Here's the shot by Carlo, so that's the 3. Apparently it's Kenny who stepped on the line. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we have JR Alabanza checking in for Alvin Baichong. That gives more length to Biñan Tatak Gel. He is the lengthiest player on the floor so far. Talking about JR Alabanza.
Well, actually, if Mark Pingris is not in the roster, it's usually Alabanza who starts at the center spot para kay Coach Boyd Fernandez. Although Dexter Maiquez recognizing that Alabanza was a bit cold coming off the bench, attacking him right away off that closeout. Just one fake and then one dribble, getting inside, kissing it off the glass.
It's a 2+1 opportunity for Maiquez, who had 20 points in the previous outing, to go alongside his 8 rebounds in 22 minutes of play. He was 9 out of 15 from the field and 1 out of 1 from the stripe. There's the conversion. 5-3. Finally, both teams are on board. Over 2.5 minutes gone by. Pamboy Raimundo. Kenny Roca Curva losing Zach Wang. The lefty flies and he scores.
That's just a thing of beauty. Gliding into the air, putting it up, down, and back up again. Roca Curva scoring another basket. Good start para sa kanya.
5 points already for Kenny. You did mention you'd want to see more production from him. Somewhat similar to what we saw when he was with Pasig City. Maiquez for 3. Yes, sir.
Dexter Maiquez is not the one to shy away from the big moments. You saw that numerous times before. You saw that last game against Bacolod. Not really always the top scorer para dito sa San Juan, but when the moment comes for him to perform, he definitely will knock down the shots.
And he's just treasuring his return to San Juan. Another guy who's treasuring his stint with Biñan is this guy, is Pamboy Raimundo, who once upon a time was an all-MPBL team selection when he was with the Jensen Warriors. He formed that dynamic duo with Robbie Celis. As Zach Wang misfires, ball tapped and recovered by Michael Isan.
That's great recovery of the miss by Michael Calisaan. Nobody boxing him out. Coach Boyd Fernandez kind of frustrated that nobody was on Calisaan. To talk about Pamboy Raimundo more, the reason why Coach Boyd Fernandez continues to put a lot of trust in his point guard is because he won multiple championships with Pamboy Raimundo in the PBA D-League with the NLEX Road Warriors when they also had Ronald Pascual and Ian Sagalang. He was the one running the show para sa koponan na yon.
Pamboy just scored on a layup. The lead is now 4 for Biñan, 12-8. Maiquez, same look, same result.
Doesn't really have a lot of backspin on his shot, but it's a high looper that gives it a big chance of going in each time he launches.
So it's a 3-point play and 2 actual 3-pointers for Dexter Marquez so far. Totaling 9 of the 11 of San Juan. Halfway done in the opening quarter. Carlo Lastimosa, 8 on the shot clock. Back to Pamboy, 5 seconds. KG at the corner. No good. Rebound, Nico Panganiban. And he loves the open court. Panganiban down the middle. No foul. The feed and the steal.
He was already free on that left side. Could have gone for the layup himself. Well read by the defense of Biñan.
It's KG Canaleta onto Carlo Lastimosa. Carlo, by the way, is not the tallest guard, but he certainly has that post game. His 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. This is a guy who has definitely that range. Pamboy Raimundo, not only facilitating, but scoring as well for Biñan. And that's after being scoreless versus Parañaque in 10 minutes of play.
Coach Boyd Fernandez turned to JJ Pido to run the show at the point guard spot in that last game against Parañaque, recognizing that there was a matchup problem going up against Philip Manalang and the rest of the Parañaque backcourt in terms of speed.
Pido returned the favor by scoring 9 points and dishing out 5 dimes in 23 minutes of play. There's a pushing foul called. It's on JR Alabanza as we get to see 2 subs. Orlan Omar, the franchise player of the San Juan Knights, checking in alongside Paulo Hernandez, who might be gone, by the way, because he could be declaring for the PBA draft alongside some other teammates. AJ Miranda did give us a hint before, and Michael Malonzo.
Yeah, Mike Malonza has already declared for the PBA draft.
But as to whether or not they will finish the season, we shall wait for confirmation.
And you know, especially when you're playing with a contender, I do believe that Senator Jingoy Estrada will try and make a way for them to finish their stint, even if they get drafted and get signed in the PBA.
I asked Orlan Omar if those 3 leave, who would replace them? And he said, well, we have 2 players who can recover from their ACL injuries by then. So that's Ron Denison and Kenneth Villapando. A miss by Lastimosa. Forward pass. How about that feed? And a tap by Roca Curva. Chaos formed, and we're back with Biñan. Kenny driving right. Roca Curva down the middle. Tough shot. Basket and 1.
He's coming from that left, but he loves to attack the middle as well. Talking about Kenny Roca Curva. You see that forward pass by Pamboy Raimundo, recognizing that they were still in transition, even if the defense was right back there para San Juan, and approaching the contact like it was nothing.
Now let's go to Andrea Indicio.
For Coach Boyet Fernandez, he will be using a different rotation in this game. Alam naman daw nila na isa sa mga kalakasan ng San Juan ay ang kanilang bilis. And so Coach Boyet opted for a smaller lineup to hopefully match the speed of their opponent. However, it doesn't end there. The Knights are very good in transition offense, and so kailangan daw nilang i-counter yun. And of course, they need to close out their shooters given na mataas ang offensive percentages ng San Juan. Bottom line in this game, depensa daw talaga ang kakapitan nila. Hiling lang ni Coach Boyet, hopefully they cling to that defense until that final buzzer. Back to you guys.
San Juan is number 1 in the league in field goal shooting at 48%. Number 1 in 3-point shooting at 37% as Gamboa misses, but he got fouled. They're also number 2 in fast break scoring at 23 per ball game. But this is actually, to me, the interesting thing about San Juan. Their schedule hasn't been the hardest. They've only gone up against 2 teams with winning records. Winning versus Abra and losing versus Rizal. Which means in the remaining 16 games, it's going to be a very tough schedule for the Knights. And it will begin with Nueva Ecija next week. After that, it's Quezon City. And then they will travel to Batangas City.
That certainly is a very tough schedule ahead para sa Knights. But, you know, it might favor them. It has favored them. They went unbeaten before that triple overtime loss to Rizal. And you could argue that these games were in preparation for the harder ones down the stretch para sa Knights. That might actually even be the ideal schedule that they wanted to have.
So that's like the ideal momentum that you would want to have approaching the playoffs. And there's some momentum for Paulo Hernandez, who got the steal and the layup. He has some personal fans behind us. So if you're hearing them, just give credit to them for making an appearance inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center.
To make a direct comparison, Migs, you could argue that what San Juan has been experiencing in their schedule is kind of like what Boston experienced in their playoff run. It was an easy way going into the finals before they faced a very difficult squad in the Dallas Mavericks.
But they already found their identity approaching the finals,
Yep.
and so it wasn't a problem for them. And of course, depth was such a theme for Boston. Well, let's see if San Juan will hold up, because we do have a lot of deep teams in the 6th campaign of the MPBL. That pass was too high and too strong for Dexter Marquez.
Especially being in the Northern Division, they do have a lot of opponents that will give them a run for their money.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by New Star. Win to the max. Paulo Hernandez able to get the steal. And there's the breakaway. He's actually one of the heftier and taller point guards that we have in the league, which basically makes him versatile.
And he's actually one of the true epitomes of a 3-and-D player, si Paulo Hernandez, but evolving into a playmaker that certainly will be beneficial for him moving forward.
It's a steal for San Juan. Hernandez is fouled. 2 free throws, but give credit to Arvin Gamboa and Orlan Mamar for forcing the turnover.
And we know how Orlan Mamar can really disrupt an opposing team's offense by the pressure that he exerts right at the top. He can play pressure defense 94 feet out and not be tired going down the floor.
He is number 5 in the league in steals per game as well. Talking about Orlan Mamar at 2.2. That's going alongside his dishing abilities at 6.1, number 6 in the league in assists. Free throw conversion for San Juan, and the lead is down to 1. Biggest advantage so far was 5 for Biñan. Kenny. Rojo Corva down the middle. He spins. No basket. Rebound. Arvin Gamboa.
You could see that there's a conscious effort for him to really look for his shots. That's a walk.
Reynel Hugnatan called for it. By the way, that's a nice matchup. Reynel Hugnatan versus KG Canaleta.
A vintage matchup, especially Reynel Hugnatan is coming off the coattails of winning a championship with the Meralco Bolts as an assistant coach.
Oh, that's right. He's been that busy, but that is a testament to how he has grown in the sport of basketball. As we know, when you start coaching, it gives you a different perspective, and it makes you wiser as a player.
There are actually other coaches in the amateur ranks. But usually when you transfer schools or sign up with a school, you go into a residency period. Some coaches would actually put these players in the coaching staff to observe what they do behind the scenes, to be able to understand the scheme of things better.
You might as well, because you're literally waiting for a year. KG Canaleta, 3 on the shot clock. That's Gray, who will fire and miss. Good to see Jonathan Gray back. He wasn't in the list in the previous outing, so he missed out for Biñan.
But he's already played a number of games. Tama ka dyan, you know, he's been away for so long.
Hugnatan signature.
You know that he's gonna go left, but still he finds a way to make an opportunity to score. Ito si Reynel Hugnatan, and that's a mark of a great player.
More importantly, San Juan has taken over. They have the advantage, but it was a poor closeout by Mike Malonzo on the succeeding play. He's arguing that there was a kick by Jonathan Gray, but here's that signature look for Reynel Hugnatan.
And much like Gabby Espinas, if you put him on the right side, he's going to go middle and try to force the issue by shooting a left hook shot.
That's a matchup I would want to see. Reynel Hugnatan versus Gabby Espinas on the low. But first, we have a challenge. Here's Coach Philip Cesar, a legend himself in Philippine basketball.
The original Tapal King, as they say.
NBA days pa lang, nandyan na yan. Parang si Reynel Hugnatan lang. Mga OG natin sa Pilipinas. Si Reynel nga, ang dating niyang teammate, yung tatay na ng current teammate niya na si Arvin Gamboa. We'll take a short break.
The challenge made by San Juan Knights is unsuccessful. Foul on Mike Malonzo.
Unsuccessful challenge for San Juan. It was a foul by Mike Malonzo. I'll let Javi be the judge.
There was a kick by Jonathan Gray, definitely, but Malonzo violated the cylinder right there, and that's why it was called as a defensive foul.
So it's 3 free throws for Jonathan Gray. The lefty with a good-looking stroke. First one is good.
Halos nagkasabay sila ni Carlo Lastimosa and CSB. Nauna lang si Carlo ng konti. Both of these guys, premier scorers during their days in the NCAA. And it's a good sign for Biñan that they're regaining their confidence, getting their touch back in scoring baskets para sa kanilang kupunan.
I actually wonder if Carlo is the reason why Jonathan Gray is with Biñan.
That could be a big factor, yeah.
Nag-ahatakan ng players natin. 21-20. 30 seconds before the end of one. Orlan. Michael Malonzo. On to Paulo Hernandez. Bounce pass. Arvin Gamboa. He gets the bounce.
Perpetual movement offensively right there para sa San Juan as Hernandez came off of those staggered screens. Gamboa popped out, got the pass, and went for the shot.
7 seconds. Speedo goes to Gimpayan. The pass was too high. So San Juan will have 3 seconds to work with.
And we know because of the shot of June Manzo that this is still a lot of time.
Orlan, our three-point king, almost made it. That could have been the best build-up for us, Javi. Unfortunately, there wasn't any conversion for Orlan Mamar. We were entertained, though, with 43 combined points for San Juan and Biñan in the first 10 minutes.
It's a high-scoring game between these two squads. San Juan is the #1 scoring team in the league, averaging 93 points per game. They are certainly on pace for that. Dexter Maiquez picking up from where he left off in their last game. 11 points right now, and he hasn't missed from the field, including 2 out of 2 from three-point country.
Perfect day for our Blockbuster Friday so far. This end of the first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Okay, Javi, I believe you know these women.
I think the girl on the left is Loisa Andalio, the better half of Biñan's Ronnie Alonte. And
Okay.
there you see Miss Leia Lastimosa, the better half of Carlo Lastimosa, the one in black.
Okay. Oh,
And you see your better half.
Yeah, that's my better half. See, that's Mela, my girlfriend. by
Mela,
the
you're
way.
gonna have to be used to be seen by the camera.
Oh, I wanted you guys to show Javi's driver.
Mamaya.
Where's Chard?
Mamaya.
I want to give him a big shout out because siya ang kasama mo eh.
Oh,
sa
yeah.
lahat ng biyahe.
Yes, sir.
Kasama ba siya sa Mindoro?
Hindi.
may boat ride eh.
May boat ride eh. Papunta sa port.
Yan, okay na yun. At least makakapaglomi siya sa Batangas.
Tama.
By the way, just so everybody knows, we will travel back to Mindoro next Saturday. But tomorrow we will be in Nueva Ecija for the Battle of Champions, Pampanga versus the Rice Vanguards. And now we have our first quarter field goal shooting off of that Goal 10 by Arvin Gamboa.
Biñan shooting 66%, 8 out of 12, while San Juan also at a high clip with 7 out of 12. So both of these teams very efficient in knocking down their shots in that first 10 minutes of action.
23-22, AC Soberano is actually making his first appearance in this game, but he is the league's #1 3-point shooter. I'll break it down even more later on. Good contest by Gimpayan, and it is a shot clock violation.
And sometimes defense is not just about the effort. Sometimes it's about the timing. And great timing on the help side there by Jmar Gimpayan on the spin. Caught Malonzo in a bind that forced the bad shot coming from the former NU Bulldog.
Gimpayan, by the way, came off of such a nice game versus Parañaque, scoring 7 points. And he had 16 rebounds in 16 minutes of play. He's #9 in the league in boards at 8.6 rebounds per game. Jmar. Now it's Joseph Peña-Redondo. 3-pointer for him.
He's certainly a very capable outside shooter para dito kay Coach Boyet Fernandez, and he also gives length defensively para dito sa Biñan.
Soberano. Oh! A 4-point play opportunity for AC Soberano.
He makes it look so easy. Launching from the outside. Ito si AC Soberano.
This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances, and it is brought to you by the #1 3-point shooter in the whole of the MPBL, to be followed by that 3 by Joseph Peña-Redondo as well. AC Soberano shoots the ball at a 53% clip, which means he has better odds of making a 3 compared to when you flip a coin.
Wow, that's crazy numbers para kay AC Soberano. And you know, to remind everybody, it's already difficult to shoot a pull-up jumper inside the arc. It's even more difficult to hit it from the great beyond, just like what AC Soberano did earlier for that 4-point play.
Although he did tell me, as JJ Pito misses, that he expects his percentage to normalize in the coming games because they're going to go up against tougher teams, which means tougher defenses, which means tougher looks. But now he will enjoy that look. Back-to-back 3s for AC Soberano.
And he's going back down the floor saying, tougher defenses? What? I'm getting open looks here.
AC Soberano just gave San Juan a 3-point advantage. As we take a look at that feed by Gamboa onto a player up top who then swung the ball onto the corner. AC Soberano, a beautiful spin on that basketball. And there you go. 2 threes just like that for the league's best. Today we are inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, the home of the Season 2 champions of the MPBL. But tomorrow we travel back to the home of the Season 4 champions of the MPBL, the Nueva Ecija Coliseum, where the Rice Vanguards will defend it against our defending champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, in another rendition of Battle of Champions in the 6th season of our beloved league. One of the things that makes the MPBL so beautiful is the fact that we haven't had a repeat champion in the league's history.
Exactly, but you know, Pampanga, I'm sure that they are out to be or try to be the first back-to-back champion, considering that this will already be the last season of our reigning MVP, Justin Balti Baltazar, who has already declared for the PBA draft.
But then again, the question stands, can he finish the MPBL season? And we are not in any position to answer that question, as it is a turnover for Biñan. AJ Miranda passes on to AC. Soberano bombs away!
3 great looks and 3 made baskets for AC Soberano. You don't give a good shooter like AC that much space and time to shoot from the outside.
53% for the season, 100% so far tonight is AC Soberano. They're on the run. Soberano, baseline drive and feed. Nice pass. And there's a foul by Alabanza.
And that's a great thing with AC. Over the years, he has morphed into a more complete player rather than just being a shooter. This was the steal taken by AJ Miranda. And then the look back pass to AC Soberano on the trail jab. Left wing 3, nothing but bottom para kay AC Soberano.
He has to join the three-point shootout.
He has to.
By the way, we just saw Alan Mangajas make his debut in the 6th season of the MPBL. He's back with Biñan. Let's see what he can do. I asked him, so what's it going to be for you in this campaign? And he said, I'm just taking it one game at a time.
Classic Alan Mangajas.
Ever so chill. Look at his demeanor on the floor. Just standing there.
There wasn't really much noise to his transfer here to Biñan, or his signing rather. That's why when I saw him come in the arena with the backpack, I was like, why is Alan here? He's from the South. Ayun pala ang dahilan na maglalaro na pala siya dito para sa Biñan.
Remember, Alan Mangajas in Season 1 of the MPBL reached the finals with Muntinlupa. And once upon a time, he was one of the league's best point guards, if not the best at that time. By the way, San Juan has been forcing turnovers here and there. They've seen 8 turnovers already from Biñan. And there's Coach Boyd Fernandez not too happy about it.
The bench hasn't been as careful with the basketball compared to the starters para dito sa Biñan.
Miranda drives. Miranda, that's good.
You see the upper body strength right there on display by AJ Miranda. Driving one way, forcing the contact with the bump, and knocking down the basket through traffic.
That was signature Alan Mangajas, who just could not get the bounce. And here come the Knights. Orlan Momar down the middle. Layup, yes!
That is Orlan Momar for you. Going in transition, fast break opportunity para sa San Juan Knights. You get him on a mismatch. This was the previous play. AJ Miranda making a basket there against Mike Maestre, floating it up for the conversion. And then on the ensuing possession, watch here, Maestre again getting beat by the hesitation and crossover by Orlan Momar, finishing with the right hand.
It's been a 17-point swing. San Juan trailed by as many as 5. Now they're up by 12. Orlan Momar versus Bacolod at 15 points, 12 in the third. How about the 8 rebounds, 9 dimes, and 3 steals as well? An overall game for the franchise player of the San Juan Knights. That's from being the 3rd string point guard of San Juan in their championship season, behind CJ Isit and Aaron Heruta. But it's a new year, a new challenge for him as one of the leaders of the Knights. Well, we've been arguing all season long that Coach Randy hasn't been present at the sideline. And so Orlan did tell me that they hold on to that championship culture. They hold on to themselves. Alam naman namin kung paano manalo. It's been established by that program of San Juan, so they just have to continue. And by the way, speaking of history for San Juan, there's the man who gave them the championship back in Season 2, Jonard Clarito. I argue that June Manza's Hail Mary could be one of the best shots, if not the best shot in the history of the MPBL, but everybody else just reminded me of that shot by Jonard Clarito. That's a 3-pointer for Robbie Manalang.
Well, almost a travel right there para kay Robbie Manalang. Good thing there was no call there, and that stops the drought para dito sa Biñan Tatakchel. Much needed basket para sa kanila. Manalang is in there to try and stabilize this offense that has already committed 8 turnovers in this game. Could have been the 9th had that traveling violation been called against Robbie.
There's a better look at Jonard Clarito. He's actually one of those guys who I wish stayed longer in the MPBL because his
definitely.
rise only started in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Medyo nabitin tayo dun. as compared to the the Mike Ions of the world. Oh, Canaleta just gave us a Luke Cornet type of contest. And that means you go up by the ring to try to distract the shooter. It actually worked. But off of the turnover, San Juan turned the ball over on the other end. Look out, KG! Throwback! A one-handed jam for KG Canaleta.
The Sultan of Slam, KG Canaleta, showing us the hops that he still continues to have. He is aging like fine wine.
Oh, I want to see more. Can he give us more? 38-31. Marquez turning around. No basket. Rebound Kalisaan. AJ Miranda at the corner. There's Orlan, our three-point king. Short. Rebound Dexter. Omar. Another three. That is good.
Well, if you're Alan Mangajas, that's the best defense that you could give. He was right there with Orlan Omar. Even after that step to the side, he was able to challenge, but Omar just too good shooting it from the great beyond, especially with the shot clock winding down.
41-31. Carlo Lastimosa. How about that upper body strength? 2+1 for him.
He definitely is moving better. He is seeing the ring bigger, and he's making more shots this time. Carlo Lastimosa turning into the killer of a scorer that he once was.
I love that you brought that up once more, because even Wesley Gonzalez would tell you just how good of a scorer Carlo Lastimosa is naturally. Let's see if he can be consistent. 4 minutes before halftime. Miranda up top to AC Soberano. Now it's Orlan Momar who swings it over to Michael Kalisaan. How about that offensive execution by San Juan?
And that's the reason why San Juan has been so successful this season. It's because of their unselfishness. Whenever there's a more open guy, they are very willing passers.
There's a charge called on KG. And Canaleta could not believe it. We have our fast break of the game brought to you by New Star. Win to the max, and that is to the max for KG Canaleta. Just giving us a bit of a throwback. What does the nickname?
Sultan of Slam.
I have one favorite slam of KG, and that was him holding the ball, rotating it in a 360 manner in front of him.
That was still when he had the dreadlocks.
Yeah. Now let's go to Andrea.
The coaching staff of San Juan said that they were actually expecting a more veteran-filled lineup for Biñan. Siyempre, yun din daw sana ang gusto nila dahil magiging advantage sana nila ang kanilang bilis. And so yesterday, kwento nila sa akin nung nakita nila ang lineup ng Biñan na hindi lang smaller but also younger, they immediately made necessary adjustments. Una, depensa sa ibabaw. Dapat doon pa lang ubos na ang oras. Pangalawa, they wanna implement sticky defense, especially on the shooters of Biñan. And three, stick to the speed dahil obviously kung sino ang bibitaw sa gas pedal sa larong ito would be at a disadvantage. Migs, Javi?
We've actually seen the pressure up top, and it has forced a couple of turnovers for Coach Boyet's team. That's a total of 10 already for Biñan as compared to the 7 of San Juan.
The only problem for the Knights is when Carlo Lastimosa is able to make plays out of zero opportunity para dito sa Biñan. He can make something out of nothing.
KG Canaleta off of his fake. He leans in and he got fouled. It's a push by Michael Kalisaan. And now Zach Wang will return. He replaces AC Soberano, which means the lineup goes taller for San Juan.
But with Alvin Baichong back in the game for Biñan, you could expect San Juan to continue to push the speed here in this game. They will go full throttle for the last 2 minutes and 41 of this first half to try and tire out this front line of Biñan, who is certainly slower than the Knights.
Well, we've seen 11 fast break points so far for San Juan and only 2 for Biñan. San Juan averages 23 fast break points per game, good for number 2 in the whole of the MPBL. AJ Miranda. On to Michael Kalisaan. No good. Offensive rebound by Zach Juan, and here's Orlan. What a pass. AJ Miranda all day. In and out. Another rebound. Marquez with a high looper.
You got to do a better job of boxing out if you're Biñan. You play good defense, forcing AJ Miranda into that outside shot, something that he doesn't really hit consistently. You've got to be able to finish the defensive possession with a rebound.
13 points in this game for Dexter Marquez. And now we're back with KG Canaleta. Step back, three-pointer. Wow, that looked really smooth.
That's what you love about KG. You know, over the years, obviously we've known him to be that athletic, wildly athletic dunker that he was. But as he aged, he really developed that outside shot.
That was tough for Marquez. Good contest by Biñan, and by Chong went down, which doesn't normally happen. And that would only indicate that there was a foul by Dexter Marquez.
He was visibly frustrated with the shot that he took. Talking about Dexter Marquez, which led to him committing that foul. A good thing that it wasn't called an unsportsmanlike, because there could have been a case for it. There wasn't a play on the basketball. A good thing that our referees didn't really notice excessive contact laban sa San Juan.
And Baichong also did not take offense in it. It's 45-40. Robbie Manalang. Pass to the left. Carlo Lastimosa. Down the middle. There you go.
Great read by Biñan. They drew Calesa and Marquez out of the paint. Zach Wang was also not in the picture in the interior para sa San Juan Knights, which led to an open cup for Carlo Lastimosa.
The lead is down to 3. No answer from Marquez. There's the effort from Zach Wang to keep the ball alive. Miranda against Lastimosa. Ajem, almost a turnover. It is completed, and Kenny's on the run. 2-on-1. Roja Curva. One bounce. Lastimosa, no finish. Offensive rebound. Kenny, he turns around and he misses again. Lastimosa, another try. Wala pa rin. Great defense by Zach Wang.
Wow, what a stand defensively for the San Juan Knights. You don't see that every day, that Carlo Lastimosa misses a gimme on the break. I think the pass was a little bit behind galing kay Roca Curva, that initial feed.
Zach Wang is all over the floor. Marquez, he's blocked by KG. How about KG Canaleta flying all over the court here in San Juan?
I just love how everybody is pouring their hearts out in this game. What effort shown by players from both squads. Look at that, at the apex, swatted away, access denied by KG Canaleta.
So what was more impressive, the block or the slam?
For me right now, it's the block.
I take the block.
I take the block. The slam we already expect from him, but that one I haven't seen from him in a while.
8 seconds to go before halftime. We're back with Pamboy Raimundo. No foul. They swing it over. Kenny Roca Curva, one last second. Robbie Manalang will lose time. But that was one heck of a finish for our second frame here inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center. It is 45-42 in favor of the San Juan Knights.
After being down by as much as 12 points in this game, Biñan climbing back into this one. But the Knights, they have been superb all game long. AC Soberano, perfect from three-point country. 3 out of 3, 10 points in over 7 minutes of play.
I wonder what his overall shooting percentage is now at in his campaign. Starting the ball game at 53%. But now we settle with his halftime score, brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX 45-42. And now we lead you into our teaser for the Battle of Champions tomorrow. The Pampanga Giant Lanterns versus the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
2022 season national champions, Nueva Ecija Rice 2023
MPBL national champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Nueva Ecija, the only unbeaten team in the North, pero looking very strong at the moment. Galing din sila sa matinding panalo dito.
Yama will not be shy, and why not? Ang maganda pa para kay Will Mantaloni.
We are at halftime for San Juan versus Biñan. The score reads 45-42 in favor of the home team. The San Juan Knights, who actually led by as many as 12 points after trailing 5-0 to start the game. How are they able to turn things around?
Well, Biñan's shooting here is 64%, and that's why they were able to get back into the game. Not really a lot of attempts because they were forced into a lot of turnovers by San Juan, especially at the start of the second quarter. But at the second half of that second period, they were able to get back into the game and trim this deficit to just 3 points, 45-42. However, they have to limit the second chance points of San Juan. They're getting beat on the glass, a -6 in that department, 16-10. And in fast break points, the Knights have been having their way, 11-2. The Knights basically have been playing San Juan Knights basketball in the first 2 quarters of this game.
Well, in terms of rebounding, there you see it, a +6 for them. 8 offensive rebounds for San Juan. I'd like to see how many Zach Wang had. Only 2. Kalisan had 3, and it's Marquez with 2. So that's a full front line for the Knights. At 3, 4, and 5 for them getting those boards. And 3-point shooting has been friendly as well for not only AC Soberano but Orlan Wamar as well, our reigning 3-point king. Leading scorers, Carlo Lastimosa with 9. KG Canaleta had a slam dunk, and he also has 9. Kenny has 7. Pamboy has 5 for Biñan Tatakgel. On the other end, for the San Juan Knights, we have 2 players in double figures. Dexter Marquez actually was perfect at the start of this game, but he's now at 4 out of 9 shooting to contribute 13 points for the Knights. AC Soberano, he's the one who's perfect at 3 out of 3 from downtown, 10 points for him. Kalisan has 6 and Wamar has 5. We do remind you guys that San Juan will have a tough schedule moving forward. It's led by Quezon City and Batangas for their next 3 games. They've only gone up against 2 teams with winning records before Biñan. So that's more than half of their remaining games going up against contenders in the MPBL. As for Biñan Tatakgel, if you would look at the records versus winning teams, they won versus Parañaque and Abra, and they lost to South Cotabato, Batangas, and Manila. Against 500 teams, they lost to Pasay and won versus Val City and QC. And that only says that when they're going up against contenders, it's like you toss a coin.
Definitely. It's actually been about closing out games for them in those games against teams with winning records, because most of the time they're in control of those games. Clear example as Carlo Lastimosa gets the basket plus the foul. A clear example was that game against South Cotabato where it had to go down the wire again, and it had to take Christian Fajarito of the Warriors to be able to do them away in that match.
Let's take a look at that replay of Carlo Lastimosa. He always loves going left, picking up the foul, and he also completes a 3-point play. 12 points for the natural scorer of Biñan Tatakgel. 45 all, a deadlock in the second half. Reynel Hugnatan working with Dexter Marquez. Now the ball is with Orlan. Wamar. Tough pass, almost a turnover. Hugnatan from the corner. That's a 3.
I remember Reynel Hugnatan, he hit one of the biggest shots of that loss against the Rizal Golden Coolers to force overtime. So you definitely have to check him when he has that pass coming from the outside.
A lot of people have argued that that was the best game of the season so far, reaching 3 overtimes. It was the first loss of San Juan in their campaign. And now a foul is called on the drive by Kenny Rocakurva. That's a tough matchup in front of him in Zach Wang.
Both lefties. And usually when you're a right-handed player, you do have a difficult time of guarding a left-handed player. But right now, Zach Wang, he can definitely mark the tendencies of Kenny Rocakurva.
That free throw was brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. That's Boss Monching Dalisayon at the sideline. Ever so supportive of his players. I'm not sure if was that Vice Gel beside him. Let's confirm that.
Yeah.
Gel Alonte has also been very passionate about this program of Biñan.
Yeah, that's correct. That is him. beside Boss Monching. Alam mo, ang ganda rin ng kwento nito ni Boss Monching, how he was able to garner success in his life. Alam mo, waiter lang dati sa club yan.
Yeah.
Wow. When I was still promoting before, he was one of the waiters there.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, I know.
But before, he already had the passion, no?
Yeah.
For basketball.
He did. He was an avid basketball fan even before. I would remember I'd share some conversations about basketball with him dati. And now, wow, lo and behold, he's already a team owner.
A VIP in the MPBL, much like Coach Philip Cesar and Jonard Clarito, who remains there behind the bench of San Juan. Jonard, if you would like to return, we would welcome you with open arms.
Definitely.
Kenny Rocacurva, they're down by 2-6 on the shot clock. Rocacurva drives, no foul, no basket. And here's San Juan, Orlan Wamar. Wamar escaping the defense of Pamboy, and there was a foul.
Raimundo arguing that there wasn't enough contact, or rather, I think he thinks that the foul should have been downstairs and that no free throws should be awarded. Unfortunately, our official thought otherwise, and that's why Wamar will be taking 2 free throws.
Here's the first gimme for Orlan Wamar. It is good. He had his first MPBL team selection last year, alongside the likes of Balti Baltazar, Jan Nermal, Will Macaloni as well.
And rightfully so, you know, he has definitely proven that he is the face of this franchise. The ability to play in big-time situations, even setting records here in the league. Orlan Wamar has definitely come a long way.
And he has also entered that conversation of greatest point guards of all time in the MPBL.
I agree.
Missed by Lastimosa, and here comes Orlan. Forward pass. What a feed. Maikez, one more. Panganiban. 2+1.
The recognition coming from Dexter Maikez. Di naman sa pinahiya doon ni Nico Panganiban.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. Maikez streaking and feeding. It wasn't the most perfect of feeds, but it was well enough for Nico Panganiban to receive and score.
The threat that Dexter Maikez has been in this game, already scoring 13 points, got the attention of those 2 white shirts inside para sa Biñan, which made the opportunity for him to pass it off to the right side kay Kenny Rocacurva.
Foul called on Zach Wang, who got tangled up with KG Canaleta. The lead is 6. Press break. Rocacurva brings it down. That's a mismatch against Rainiel Hugnatan. A steal by Orlan Wamar. He surveys. There's the escape. Orlan, daylight, yes!
He knew it was good the moment it left his hands. Excellent screen set. That gave him the opportunity for a clear look.
55-46, Rocacurva could not answer back. Rebound to Kenny. It's Alvin Baichong against Dexter Maikez. Kick out, Rocacurva for 3. Off to the right, rebound Hugnatan, and here comes Orlan. Cross-court pass. What a feed! Zach Wang lost his balance. There's Dexter Maikez missing on the short stab. Great effort by Nico Panganiban.
He just snatched that away from 2 white shirts in the air.
Panganiban is now backing down against Carlo Lastimosa. Nico leans in, no foul, but he gets the bounce.
Biñan was arguing that should have been a walk, but I think that it definitely was clean there by Panganiban, and that's a foul against Rainiel Hugnatan as he was trying to pressure KG Canaleta near the half line. But wow, what a sequence it has been para kay Nico Panganiban, scoring on an N1 opportunity a couple of plays ago and then plucking the rebound from the sky against 2 defenders and then scoring to finish the possession para sa San Juan.
Let's see the tally. Nico Panganiban has 4 points and 3 rebounds to his name, but we have certainly felt his presence as Raimundo just scored for Biñan. That trims the lead down to 9. The biggest was at 12 for the Knights. Panganiban again down low. Nice feed. And there's a foul before that putback. Baichong wants a challenge.
Alvin Baichong has struggled greatly in this game against the more dynamic front line of this San Juan squad. He hasn't been able to keep in step. And now the question for Coach Boyd Fernandez is, how long will he keep Carlo Lastimosa on that bench? A lack of scoring now for Biñan, very evident because the Knights have been able to deny all of the options para sa Biñan here in the third quarter.
This would be the first challenge in this game. After all, Alvin Baichong has been with Coach Boyd for 2 years already, so there's all that trust. We'll be back.
The challenge made by Biñan is unsuccessful. Foul on Alvin Baichong.
Challenge unsuccessful. It's the third foul of Alvin Baichong in this game. And so, Dexter Marquez proceeds to the line.
I don't think they had much of a case there. Definitely a lot of contact against Baichong on that replay.
Marquez remains perfect at the stripe. 4 out of 4 so far. 14 points, 5 boards, 3 dimes. To the former Zamboanga player who's making his return to San Juan this season. But he was already a part of that core again late last season. We saw him watching the San Juan playoff games just behind their bench.
Well, he has certainly felt more comfortable here in this system, which has been more dynamic and has catered more to his expertise.
There was a pushing foul on that loose ball sequence. It's called on Dexter Marquez. Penalty na. Quite unfortunate for them after that steal, the 4th steal of Orlan Mamar. But he missed on his layup.
Now let's see if Biñan can capitalize on this. 5 minutes still remaining in the third quarter. Can they milk the penalty situation against San Juan Knights to get back into the game?
This is a long way to go. Kenny on his second as JJ Pido and Coach Boyet both look ahead. There's the conversion. The lead is 10, 59-49.
Loca Curva now in double figures with 10 points.
Orlan Mamar onto Nico Panganiban. Bounce pass onto the cutter. Nice speed, nice play in general. Mike Melonzo with 2 points.
Now for Biñan, you want more stability and ball handling plus leadership on the floor. That's why you put Robbie Manalang back to share backcourt duties with Pamboy Raimundo. The problem is defensively, you are now playing mismatches. That time you saw Nico Panganiban on the block against Robbie Manalang, and then Mike Malonzo making the right read, going for the cut on the baseline, getting the pass and scoring.
Pamboy got fouled on the other end. He misses on his first free throw.
He's usually a very good free throw shooter, talking about Pamboy Raimundo.
That was his first attempt tonight from the stripe. He is perfect from the field, although that's 2 misses on the gimmies. The ball was tapped away by San Juan. 61-50. Things have slowed down quite recently.
And the number of fouls that have been committed by the Knights here in the third quarter have definitely slowed this game down.
Robbie Manalang, nice fake. A good look. Too strong. Rebound Malonzo.
And 3-point shooting was very kind to both squads in the first half, but it has soured here in the second half para dito sa Biñan.
Reynel Hugnatan, in and out. Oh, what a rebound credit that to Nico Panganiban. 2 points for Dexter Marquez.
And Nico Panganiban, he doesn't even have to score to make an impact in the game. When he's on the floor, you could definitely feel his presence by the energy that he gives in crashing the glass and also making plays para sa kanyang mga teammates.
It's now the biggest lead in this game for the Knights, 13. Momar escapes. He's blocked by Roca Curva.
Boy, I tell you, that hesitation dribble just really very dangerous para kay Orlan Momar. Once he freezes you with that, he goes straight to the basket.
Marvin Taiwan now checks in for Orlan Momar. He was their starting point guard in this game. Let's see the replay. The block by Kenny Roca Curva. Baseline inbound. Marquez faking the feed. Sorry, missed though.
Lucky for Biñan that Marquez missed. That was lousy defense by Gimpayan on the block.
Here's Alan Mangahas. They swing it over to Kenny at the corner. Roca Curva. Screen by KG. Canaleta against Hugnatan. Canaleta almost traveled. Tough shot. Instinct na lang yun eh.
And look how nonchalant he threw that one up. Wala man lamang kaabag-abag sa mukha niya. Walang kahirap-hirap.
At wala na rin naging reaction ng mga tao. That's Hugnatan. Fouled by Gimpayan.
He definitely showed that well. Talking about Reynel Hugnatan, what Gimpayan did was just really to move his feet. Just a slight movement of the body, but Hugnatan showed that he really went off of Jmar Gimpayan to sell the call.
Let's go back to Andrea.
During the halftime huddle through video call, Senator Jinggoy Estrada was able to talk to his team. Nakukulangan pa raw siya sa depensa. Dagdag sipag pa, especially when pushing out opponents. Na-mention din na kapag si KG ang nasa loob, dun sila nagkakaproblema. Reminder nila sa Knights, huwag magpanik, huwag magkanya-kanya because when they're not calm, nawawala yung extra passes. Nawawala ang sistema. On the side of Biñan, the coaches wants the wing to be open sa plays. Kadalasan daw kasi nagmamadali kaya wala sa tamang pwesto. This second half, they want to see the 12-0 run that they were able to do kanina, which is a product of running more ball movement and attacking the basket. Back to you guys.
Well, a 12-0 run would definitely help them as of this moment. They're down by 11. Here's Robbie Manalang. Step back against Reynel Hugnatan. Short on his three. Rebound Panganiban.
Even Jmar Gimpayan is having a hard time getting extra possessions para dito sa Biñan, but Canaleta has been their absolute rim protector.
2 blocks for KG. No block on the other end. 2 free throws for Kenny Roca Curva.
Alan Mangas delivering that time to Roca Curva, who was streaking down the floor. Right on the money with a pass. You know, you just really love the passion and the IQ for basketball that Senator Jinggoy Estrada has. Even if he's far away watching from a distance, he's still able to observe and pinpoint kung ano yung kakulangan ng kanyang team.
Here's Kenny. First free throw is good. 11 points for him. Here's Coach Boyd Fernandez. 2 years as the head coach of that guy, Kenny Roca Curva. 2 conversions. The lead is 9. Arvin Gamboa returns. Same goes for Jonathan Gray. Will play defense up top to try to cover Michael Malonzo. John Galinato also makes his first appearance. He's paired with Marvin Taiwan at the backcourt of San Juan. Here's Marvin. Where will they go? 9 on the shot clock. Taiwan against Robbie Manalang. Still at it. Taiwan, tough shot. He made it.
I thought it was a poor decision for Marvin Taiwan to try and force the issue against a very capable defender in Robbie Manalang. In my opinion, San Juan should have went to Galinato, who was being guarded only by Alan Mangahas. Alabanza scores there para sa Biñan.
Lead back down to 9. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Marvin Taiwan. Screen by Kalisaan. Taiwan attacking and feeding. Gamboa. Nice pass. Kalisaan. That's a gimme.
Numerous times already in this game, Biñan has been beat with those drop passes made by the guards. Actually, not even just guards of San Juan. Everybody from the 1 to the 4 spot, they've been making plays coming from the outside. Arvin Gamboa making that excellent shovel pass to Mike Calesa, and nobody was in front of him to try and even prevent the pass from happening.
By the way, we just saw 2 substitutions. AC Soberano is back after being perfect from the field in the first half, and Ronnie Alonte has now made his first appearance in this game. Ronnie, by the way, is no joke in Philippine basketball.
Oh, yeah.
He himself played competitive ball when he was young. That was back in the NCAA South days of him alongside Coach Jerry Andalion of Muntinlupa currently.
Played for Perpetual Biñan.
So he's right at home with Biñan Tatakchel. 67-58, 90 seconds before the end of the third. Marvin Taiwan against Alan Mangajas. They give it up to AC. Remaining perfect. 4 out of 4 from downtown.
Back like he never left the game. My goodness.
No answer on the other end. The ball went out of bounds in favor of Biñan.
If you're Biñan, third quarter is winding down here. You don't really have to rush on the other side and try to catch San Juan off guard defensively after a big shot like that galing kay AC Soberano. You set up your offense and try to give yourselves a good chance of getting a high percentage look. Good thing that they were able to keep the possession after that initial miss by Kenny Rocacurva, and now it's Jmar Gimpayan going to be taking 2 free throws.
Jmar has 2 points and only 2 rebounds in this game. We did say that he had 16 boards in 16 minutes in their previous outing. He has played 12 minutes so far. Gimpayan should be listed as one of the best rebounders in the history of the MPBL. Kung pure rebounder lang ang usapan, kasama talaga yan.
And definitely, and you know, that's with him not even being one of the tallest power forwards that we have in the league.
Taiwan misfires. There's a rebound by Gimpayan. He only used one hand for it. Mangajas streaking and feeding. That was a risky pass, but it was actually a nice idea.
Execution just wasn't too good para kay Alan Mangajas. Coach Boyd Fernandez didn't get mad at Alan for it. He knew that he only had a good idea in mind. It really wasn't in a good position to make the feed.
70-60, John Galinato against Jonathan Gray. Screen up top. 6 on the shot clock. Galinato for 3. No good. How about the effort by Calisan? Just battling it on the ground alongside J.R. Alabanza, but he would not prevail. There's a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
And now this possession will be crucial para sa Biñan. They want to be able to finish this third quarter strong.
Back with Alan Mangajas. They swing it over to Jonathan Gray. Did not use the screen. There's the roller. Gimpayan will score.
The moment that Jonathan Gray got the basketball, San Juan shifted into a 2-3 zone. And look at this one here, involving Jmar Gimpayan with a 2-man game on the left side. Gimpayan rolls, Gray gives up the basketball, and that is one of the great traits of Jmar Gimpayan, the ability to hang in the air and finish through contact.
Free throw converted by Jmar. The lead is down to 7. 5 seconds for San Juan. Marvin Taiwan. Gamboa, he has a good look. Arvin will score. That's gonna count.
I think whatever happened there, it would have been a basket para kay Gamboa because somebody tapped the backboard.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was J.R. Alabanza. So even if it went out, that would have been defensive interference rather, coming from J.R. Alabanza.
And so the lead would be increased to 9 points again. 72-63 once that basket counts. At halftime, it was 45-42 Andrea mentioned Biñan wanted that 12-0 run to happen again, but so far San Juan has had their answers. Good thing is we still have 10 more minutes for our MPBL Blockbuster Friday. This third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. We have our player matchup update. It's Kenny Rocaforva versus Dexter Maiquez, 12 versus 17.
Well, Maiquez was off to a very good start. So was Kenny Rocaforva. But Maiquez just getting a lot more points, 17 to 12 in that area. You expect Rocaforva to try and take over the game here in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, he will be coming off the bench para kay Coach Boyd Fernandez to begin the payoff period. But Dexter Maiquez, he's been one of the biggest reasons, I think perhaps the biggest reason why San Juan has been able to sustain the advantage here against Tatakjel.
Let's see the leading scorers for the whole of this game. Dexter is number 1 at 17. Number 2 is Soberano with 13, who continues to be perfect from the field. 4 out of 4 from downtown. Lastimosa and Rocaforva both have 12 each, and KG Canaleta has 11. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Avi Palanya and Andrea Endicio as we come to you live from the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in the city of San Juan. Quarter scoring, Javi. How about those 21s for Biñan?
Wow, and both teams both scoring beyond the 20-point barrier in all quarters. We expected a high-octane ball game from these two squads, and we are getting it.
AC Soberano backing down. It's Taiwan who will fire. That's good.
And judging by the quarter scoring, you see that it's not really offense that's the problem para dito sa Biñan. It's more their defense. It's stopping shots like that coming from Marvin Taiwan. That was another open look coming from the outside for San Juan, courtesy of Marvin Taiwan. On the other side, offensively, a lot times more than not, they have been forcing the issue. You see their late closeout by Alan Mangas, capitalized on by Marvin Taiwan.
Alonte feeds. Gimpayan will score. How about Ronnie Alonte making his presence known?
Excellent play coming from Ronnie Alonte. Unfazed by the pressure of two red shirts, Soberano was storming at him, jumped at the closeout, attacked, and then made a no-look delivery to Jamar Gimpayan, who continues to capitalize on those drop passes given to him by his teammates.
That just made me miss Gerald Anderson here in the MPBL. I hope he can
Yeah.
match up with Ronnie Alonte if he returns. That would be nice. Taiwan onto Soberano. AC defended by Alonte. Look at that pesky defense by Ronnie. 7 on the shot clock. Soberano. That's his first miss. Recovery. And there you go. An answer again by San Juan.
Once again, second chance points. That's 13 already in the game for the Knights. And Biñan only has 2 in that department. That is one of the biggest departments where they have really gotten beat at. It's because they are letting San Juan get more possessions and in turn more opportunities at the basket, and these turnovers will not be helping the Tatakjel. That's already turnover number 14 para sa kanila on a moving screen.
We're back with San Juan, 77-68. It's Marvin Taiwan matched up against Alan Mangas. Screen by Kalisaan. Marvin trying to escape. He drives and feeds. Gamboa, no good. Recovery for Biñan. Mangas. Bounce pass. Gimpayan tried to bump his way through. There's a blocking foul.
Easy call there by our referees. Went into a brick wall there. In fact, 2 brick walls. I think it's Gamboa who will be getting the foul. You see how Alan Mangas has been masterfully orchestrating transition attacks here para sa Biñan. And trying to buy time for Pamboy Raimundo on that bench so that he's fresh come the latter part of this game.
Mangas actually leads the way in assists for Biñan with 4. And there you go. He also makes a 3-pointer. Welcome back to the MPBL, Alan Mangas.
Always a joy to watch Alan Mangas, especially when he's making shots like that.
One game at a time. 77-71. That's a foul. Poor closeout by Alabanza.
Alabanza has been having trouble staying in this game for a long time because of the foul trouble that he incurred early. That's now number 4 laban sa kanya. And he picked up his 3rd in the first half.
Alvin Baichong also has 3 fouls, by the way. I wonder if we're going to see a smaller lineup later on for Biñan. But now Alvin is set to check back in. Soberano is fouled. Ronnie Alonte is not happy about it. Do they still have a challenge? Mukhang wala na.
Wow, that was quite the late call actually by our referees, but we definitely have to see that again because from our vantage point, it looked like a good challenge.
All right, let's see the replay.
Alonte came off the screen. Oh, I think that it should be a clean challenge para kay Ronnie Alonte. I think that Soberano just sold it well. There wasn't enough contact to merit a personal foul.
Instead, AC Soberano has a chance to score 3 more points off of the stripe. Normally, good 3-point shooters are good free throw shooters. He's 2 out of 2 so far. His free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 3 out of 3 for AC Soberano. He has a total of 18 points in this game. 80-71. Gray onto Mangahas. Taiwan went flying. Alan with an air ball. Offensive rebound, and there's one guy ahead. Paulo Hernandez all day.
It started with the air ball. Although they got the offensive rebound, Hernandez was smart enough to go back the other way because he knew that they would be getting the basketball back and that he would be unchallenged for that layup.
The lead is back up to 11 for the San Juan Knights. The easiest basket of the night is presented upon to Paulo Hernandez. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor. We are coming back to you live from the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan before we proceed to Nueva Ecija tomorrow in Palayan City for the Battle of Champions. The Pampanga Giant Lanterns taking on the Rice Vanguards. That's to finish our lovely MPBL week. Next week, Javi Palanya, among others, will drive to Batangas. Then they will ride a ferry on to Mindoro. For the second time in MPBL history, the Mindoro Tamaraws will be defending their home court against Imus.
And we will be playing in Pola, a town in which Mayor Jennifer Inalegre Cruz is the mayor in.
But before that, as Jonathan Gray scores, you also have to watch out for the battle between San Juan and Nueva Ecija next Friday here inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center. Orlan Mamar Jr. They go to AC Soberano. Gamboa drives. Kick out. Hernandez for 3. Too strong. Alan Mangahas recovers. Mangahas. Bounce pass onto Jonathan Gray. 6 minutes and 15 to go. 10 on the shot clock. Gray will fire. Double pump on that 3. Too strong. Rebound Jamar. One of the best in MPBL history.
Biñan has been keeping Biñan within striking distance with his hustle plays and energy rebounds. And those putbacks, those shots near the basket have really been beneficial para sa Biñan in keeping in step with the Knights, or at least trying to keep in step.
How about Parlo Hernandez coming alive in the 4th quarter?
Coach Boyd Fernandez wanted a moving screen right there. The reason why Hernandez had an open look is because there was a solid screen set by, I think it was Kalisaan.
5.5 minutes. The lead is 10. Ronnie Alonte. He hasn't scored. Cross-court pass. Gray to Baichong. Alvin pounding his way through. And that's a foul on Kalisaan. What else can you do?
Might have gotten away with the walk. Halos sabay yung dribble tsaka yung step. Good thing that Baichong was able to come clean and then attack hard, draw the foul. Here's hoping that he gets the 2 shots. If I'm Coach Boyd Fernandez, the free throws are starting to be a problem here in the second half para sa Biñan.
First one is good. They're at 18 out of 23 from the stripe compared to the 16 out of 18 for San Juan. Although relatively speaking, those are decent percentages for both of our squads. Baichong, 2 out of 2. KG Canaleta returns. The rim protector in this game with 2 blocks to his name. 2 emphatic blocks, by the way.
And JJ Pido also checking into the game para dito sa Biñan to try and give maybe a little spark here for Biñan.
Soberano for 3. Off to the left. Rebound Pido. And here's Jonathan Gray. Bounce pass to Alvin. Baichong backing down against Reynal Hugnatan. Alvin, yes.
That will certainly boost his confidence. It's not an easy task to score on the block in the post against a veteran like Reynal Hugnatan.
Momar against Pido. Good tough defense by JJ. It's a 2-possession game. Soberano onto Orlan. Baseline drive. Wild sequence. That's a turnover. And Biñan has numbers. 5 on 4. Pido. Can they recognize it? Pass inside. Counter steal. And oh, the pass was too long. There's the trailer. My goodness. What a scramble.
Parehong sayang na oportunidad para sa parehong kupunan. It was supposed to be an advantage in numbers for Biñan. Pido threw it away, and then Mamar couldn't catch the pass. It was too forward para sa kanya.
Ronnie Alonte, oh, that was way off. The ball slipped out of his hands. On the other end, Jonathan Gray will stop everything.
He says that this is too much. Everybody's got to settle down. I'm going to take this foul. And that's also going to allow some starters for Coach Boyd Fernandez to come back into the game.
Timeout for San Juan. They're up by 6. But momentum actually swung over to Biñan for a while there. So let's see if they can answer back. Next 3 games for the San Juan Knights. Look at that. They will go back home to take on the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. And then it's Quezon City on July 13. And they will be on the road to take on Batangas City on July 18. Have you actually had that luxury to experience the FBJ Arena?
Yeah.
Kamusta naman yun?
It was a nice arena, good-looking arena. Malamig rin siya, pare. And, you know, I really enjoyed covering there because the crowd was much more into it. Kasi mas feel mo kasi mas intimate yung setup eh.
Oh, okay. And you know, every time we touch a new demographic in the MPBL, a new location, it's easy to expect na ganado yung fans. Siyempre, bago sa kanila as compared to those who have been watching the MPBL for years already. So we give credit to those new fans who took part in our MPBL experience in the FPJ Arena. And we hope to see you again anytime soon. Orlan Momar goes to AC. Soberano will score.
Each time that San Juan needed the basket, especially when Biñan has been threatening to go on a run to get back into the game, they expect AC Soberano to be there, available, and making a shot.
It's Kenny, who could not answer back. And here's Orlan Momar. They slow down.
And see, that's been the problem for Biñan. Each time that San Juan is able to hit a big shot after a run or an impending run, they rush to the other side and try to score right away. Roca Curva has to settle down and let the offense flow more.
There's a foul on that drive by Pamboy Raimundo.
That's the last foul to give para dito sa San Juan. Now Lastimosa back in the game. He's fresh off the bench. You expect him to be aggressive here, try and take over this game, just like he did in the first half.
87-79. Let's see the numbers of Carlo Lastimosa. We can't add 2 more points after that miss.
That was a block by Dexter Marquez. Good help defense right there, even though if it was a great pass made by Canaleta coming out of the post.
Carlo, by the way, has 12 points in 20 minutes of play. We go back to Reynel Hugnata. Nice fake against KG Canaleta. Up top to AC. Soberano, 1 on the shot clock. AC Soberano misfires. Rebound Orlan Momar.
And you see there the difference, Migs. More red shirts converging on the basketball compared to white shirts. Canaleta was just standing around as well, I think, as Roca Curva and Raimundo. And that leads to a big shot here by Reynel Hugnata, and that brings the lead back up to 11. So it's really in the effort department where Biñan has been truly lacking in. If you want to win a ball game, you gotta be able to out-hustle the other team.
These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Roca Curva is blocked by Reynel Hugnatan. 3 on the shot clock. Lastimosa could not score. How about Reynel Hugnatan?
He still continues to be a steady presence on both sides of the floor. Para dito sa San Juan Knights, he's wide open on that right corner. But Orlan Momar will want to take some time off of that game clock.
Nice pass, nice cut. Hernandez for 2. It's championship level of basketball for the San Juan Knights. We bring to you our play of the game. Brought to you by Suzuki. Nice feed. We've seen this countless times already from the Knights. Momar just being patient. Somebody cuts, and it's an easy play for them.
He continues to put his head up and pull back while he's dribbling, making the other guys available for that pass. Tremendous read by Orlan Momar out of the pick and roll.
92-79, a minute and 22 remaining. Dexter Marquez tonight has 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists to his name. He actually was the one who started it all for San Juan.
He set the tone para sa kanila sa laro na to, picking up from where he left off in their last game against Bacolod, where he scored 20 points. And once again, a solid game para sa kanya.
There you see our MPBL VIPs, Rudy Distrito, Joe Ramos, and Emer Oreta looking oh so fresh at the sideline. You can see them working. They're the ones behind all the success of the league, of course, under our founder, Manny Pacquiao. Nice effort by J. Mark Gimpayan, 2 points for him. The lead is 11.
He has come alive here in the fourth quarter, talking about Waray Gimpayan. Fortunately, the other guys haven't really been able to chip in, especially on the defensive end. And when it was time to get the rebounds on the loose balls, the 50-50s, not a lot of effort shown by Biñan, while Maikes continues to be brilliant.
He's up to 19 points as the second leading scorer of San Juan behind Soberanos 20. Another basket here for Kenny Rocacorva, 14 for him. So he's the leading scorer of Biñan, ahead of Gimpayan with 12, and Lastimosa has 12 as well. This is practically done, not unless somebody turns into Tracy McGrady. KG Canaleta is called for a foul. Biñan's next game, by the way, or actually their next 3 games will happen at home. Quezon on Wednesday, and then after that, Bataan and Pampanga at home.
Wow, what a stretch as well para sa Tatak Gel. So it's not just San Juan with a difficult schedule ahead of them. Also, Coach Boyd Fernandez and his squad are in it for a tough ride in their next 3 matches.
Again, we just continue to celebrate the fact that we have 17 teams who have winning or 500 records here in the MPBL. That's why day in and day out we have such nice games as Carlo Lastimosa scores, trimming the lead down to 11. 16 seconds to go. This is practically done. Oh, there's an 8-second violation.
He was just expecting to just bring the ball across the half line. To the dismay and frustration of everybody here in the Philoil Eco Center. The outcome has already been decided, but still on these kinds of plays or calls, the Knights, they want everything to be done right.
Okay, so referees are reviewing. Was it 8 seconds or not?
I think the count was too fast as well.
There you see Coach Boyd Fernandez. They won 2 straight games after losing 4. Actually, puro streak eh. So 6-0 start, and then naging 0-4 after that. But their losses were against teams with good records. South Cotabato, Batangas, Manila, and Pasay City. And then back-to-back wins. Let's just hope that if they could continue at this pace, they would lose versus San Juan. Let's just hope that it won't become a huge losing streak again for them.
Yeah, and you know, they're lucky that they are not with San Juan in the much more crowded Northern Division. And they have the luxury of at least having these kinds of losses to bounce back from. But of course, that's not to say that they don't need to win games. They need to win games to be able to cement their spot at the top of the team standings in the South.
Well, I would still argue that in the South Division, they're, what, 7-8 deep so far? And that would still warrant a big battle for home court advantage.
Definitely. And you know how well Biñan plays at home, especially in the playoffs. You could expect a full house there at the Lonte Sports Arena.
All right. So congratulations to the San Juan Knights for successfully defending their home court. This would be their 3rd straight victory, moving up to 12-1. Biñan Tatak goes down to 8-5, snapping their 2-game winning streak. Nico Panganiban, Dexter Maikes, among others, played very well. Let's just give shout-outs. Maikes had 21 points and 10 rebounds to his name. Calisan had 11 and 5, but our best player of the game brought to you by Manny Pacquiao's MPBL, is the best three-point shooter in the entire league. AC Soberano will actually increase his percentage after shooting the ball at an 80% clip tonight.
He was the fireman for San Juan. Every time that there was a fire being threatened to start by the Biñan Tatak Gel, Soberano was there to knock down a big shot to extinguish the fire that Biñan was trying to start.
This final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX from 53% three-point shooting efficiency. I wonder what the number would be next week for AC Soberano. 4 out of 5. That would be the numbers added onto his tally. And now he just proceeded to Andrea Endicio alongside his child. So let's go to Andrea.
First of all, congratulations. AC, kanina sinabi ng mga coaches in the first half na nakukulangan sila sa sipag at effort. Yun ba yung dahilan kung bakit come the second half, parang pang-championship ang hustle na ipinakita ninyo?
Siyempre, yung pinapractice namin everyday is to win. Sa practice, competitive kami. And, yung talo namin sa Rizal, lesson sa amin yun. So marami kami natutunan. And yun, in-apply namin. And yun nga, yung number one is be aggressive, defense and sa offense. And trust your teammates lang and sa system.
Nabanggit mo nga yung loss ninyo against Rizal. Dito yun mismo nangyari. Dito nadungisan ang inyong perfect record sa inyong mismong home court at ang susunod nyong makakalaban. Perfect din ang record so far. So probably it's your chance para yung record naman nila ang dungisan ninyo. So anong pwede naming i-expect sa laban na yun?
Siyempre, hindi kami pwedeng maging complacent. Yun, work hard lang lagi. Give 100% sa practice. And yun, yung sikreto siguro namin is we're trusting each other. Mafa-first group hanggang sa last group yun. Tiwala kami sa isa't isa.
Alright, AC, you deserve this. Meron ka bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Thank you so much kay Senator Jingo Estrada, Boss Jeremy Go, Kong Brian Yams Juan, Boss James Go, sa mga sponsors, Go for Gold, Alaksan FR, 4-Piece Party List, Fin & Claw Grill, GSU Amusop, Bicol Saro Party List, Power Hoop Sports Clothing, sa lahat ng mga San Juaneños, and sa family ko nanonood, yung wife ko, yung baby ko, tito ko, and yung pinsan ko, yung mga taga-Tarlac, Kuya BJ, sina Ninang, sino po ba? Yung birthday pala ni Kuya ni Marwin Taiwan, si Emil Taiwan, yun. Maraming salamat sa lahat. Pag may nakalimutan pa ako, hindi ko naman. Thank you so much sa lahat.
Alright, thank you so much. Once again, that is AC Soberano, our best player of the game, brought to you by Manny Pacquiao's MPBL. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Andrea. Congratulations to AC Soberano and company for that big-time victory. They would need all the momentum in the world before they take on Nueva Ecija at home next week. Tomorrow, by the way, we will feature our last two national champions of the MPBL, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards and the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. They will meet in a highly anticipated clash in Palayan City. Nueva Ecija is currently undefeated at 12-0. They're the only undefeated team in the North Division, while Pampanga has only lost once. That was their first game of the season when they still did not have the services of Lervin Flores and Balti Baltazar. But we did say that they have also retooled. They've gotten some great recruits. So the question is, will Nueva Ecija stay perfect because of the arrival of our defending champions tomorrow in Palayan City? Watch out for that. Our newest rendition of the Battle of Champions in the MPBL. We'll see you guys in Nueva Ecija for Bacolod versus Valenzuela, Bataan versus Pasay, and the Battle of Champions, Pampanga Giant Lanterns versus the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Thank you for joining us in our MPBL Friday. For Andrea Endicio and Javi Palanya, my name is Mix Gomez. At ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.